Hello, everybody, and welcome to Wake Up Missoula. I'm your host, Scott Ramp.
And I'm also your host, Noelle McFoy. That's Asaph Adonai on piano. Happy Wednesday, everyone.
Yeah, it is Wednesday. It is Hump Day.
Yes,
it is the beginning of the hump of the week.
Yep.
And of course, I'm sure all you college kids can't wait until the week's over because it's the first week. And basically, it's the most overwhelming week for any other student because you get a little piece of paper that says that's all your homework for the whole year.
Yeah.
It basically tells you your whole entire assignments and all your homeworks for the whole entire year. And people are like, oh, but you have 15 weeks before finals.
Yes, I do. Thanks, Scott.
Yes,
former college student over here.
Yeah. But like I keep telling people, it's like the first semester. I mean, the very first 100 level classes are like the most expensive year of your life. You know, freshman year is the most expensive year of your life. Yeah, especially if they trick you into buying a credit card.
Yeah,
so you want to avoid getting that credit card.
And you have to pay for the dorms and like student housing. You know, student housing, dorms, same thing. But like food plan and
unless you get
tuition and like if you screw up.
Right, but of course, there's always Pledge Week, and if you want to join a fraternity or a sorority, but of course some of you are kind of skeptical about it. But it just depends upon the right view set of certain people. But yeah, I mean, that's the one job for fraternities and sororities is that you don't have to pay to live in.
You do.
You do?
Oh yeah, it's way more expensive than the dorms.
Is it way more expensive? Yep. In some ways, I was led to believe that you don't have to pay for housing or whatnot, and then you have to volunteer. The only thing you put the hours and put the time into the place. So
it's
I guess
cult. It's a cult.
Well, yeah, it's acted like they totally act like it's a cult because they have these like ceremonies and all that stuff.
Secrets.
It just really depends. It's like each fraternity and sorority is different.
Yeah.
And like sure, there's always one or two of them that make everything else look bad.
Well, even the Christian, like Scott was telling us the other day, there was a Christian fraternity that was trying to like get
indoctrinate me back when I was a poor college kid. I was just sitting there studying alone, and they always target kids who are alone, and then they just say, "How are you, buddy? How's it going?" It's like I'm not gonna kill myself.
Yeah.
No. Okay. So, anyways, I have some news. What's going on in the world today? So, in the world, Hungary blocked migrants from Serbia from going into Germany and other wealthy European countries. Of course, before war broke out, Serbia was on track to becoming part of the European Union because once you're in the Union, you're in for life. Even if you look at Greece, because they had a huge economic collapse back in the day and a lot of issues. And even in Greece, they were like government officials just like we should increase taxes, and then they were just like we have to listen to the people. We can't increase taxes. Wait, we listened to the people before, and that's why we're in poverty. And that's. Yeah, and moving on more with that, because war has prevented such a transition into the European Union for Serbia. But more and more migrants are fleeing towards pretty much anywhere they can get away from this war in Serbia. The European Union currently covers 2.5 million miles, and it has over 503 million people. Wow. So that's like...
It's a lot.
Basically, if you were to look at it, it's probably about 500 people per mile or so. It's a lot of people. And in the state of Montana, if you were to evenly split it up amongst people, you'd have about 9 people per mile, which is like more than enough room for people. It's like 9 people per square mile in the state of Montana, so you have 1 million people in Montana. So it's crazy to think about it because Europe is scrunched down with many different countries. The European Union was established so it would make it easier for travel between borders and make a little more peace for sure. And there is a lot of peace up there. And if you add a country that's war torn and has issues with history of war between, of course, Bosnia and all that stuff, you're skeptical. It's just like a war is expensive.
It's very true.
And like after war, like the aftermath is even more expensive. Anyways, that's...
Are you gonna let me talk, Scott? Are you gonna
I have to move on to more of this stuff. And in the United States, a Kentucky clerk, Kim Davis, refused same-sex couple from getting married and invoked God's law. Of course, I'm not trying to pick sides or anything, but we are a society of law-abiding citizens in the United States. Same-sex marriage is legal from the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
So therefore, she's technically breaking the law by preventing this from happening. But of course, if certain church groups are perfectly fine with preventing any kind of same-sex marriage, even like same-sex marriage or different sex marriage. They can prevent anything because they're religious groups.
What I find interesting is that how, if you're most religious people, claim that God created everything. So I don't understand, like, if God created everything, God obviously created same-sex marriage.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why they are so against it, even though
now that it is under the Supreme Court law, so it's a federal law to be able to do same-sex marriage. By denying this, she's actually breaking the law. Yeah. Like legally, she is breaking the law.
Yeah, I've been reading news articles about this. I'm fairly amused by her because she is so angry about it. Like, just chill out. Yeah. Who cares what they're doing? Chill out.
All right. So speaking of the separation of church and state, there's another issue that in Montana, the 6-foot tall Jesus statue that's been standing tall for 60 years up in Whitefish, Montana, the federal court up in Helena rejected Freedom from Religion Foundation's radical idea that privately owned memorial standing in the middle of a ski resort violates the Constitution. So basically they say, it can stay. It can stay.
Good. It should stay.
It's been there for so long, people are just like, it doesn't matter. Like we throw Mardi Gras beads on it, beads all the time on it.
It's a fun thing.
It's people. I mean, like, okay, so the Freedom from Religion. Okay, so just so you know, the Freedom from Religion organization is from Madison, Wisconsin, and people who were visiting up the ski resort got offended and they complained about it, wrote a letter, and Freedom from Religion jumped on board and has been pushing this for the last 3 or 4 years, and then of course they're still going to push it because they want the full court to look at it. So they're going to go above and above, and they're going to keep on pushing this until. As far as you can go.
They just need to mind their own business and leave us alone. They're in Wisconsin. Like, who cares? They don't come up here.
And, of course, good transition from church to law and like all this stuff. There's more news about the water rights. Water rights. So, of course, the Montana Public Service Commission will not consider the sale of Missoula's drinking water system to Liberty Utilities based on a technicality and complications. Even though the city of Missoula believes that the district court has already granted it constructive ownership of the Mountain Water Company, of course, making the PSC's hearing with Liberty irrelevant. It's like the district court already ruled in our favor. Yeah. And of course, they want to try to keep on selling it. Yeah. And Liberty wants to buy it. The Canadian company wants to buy it from Carlisle. And yeah, I mean, and like they said they're gonna. Even like in court, even before the court case, they said we're gonna sell it regardless of how this court case rules here and there and all that stuff. They've already appealed to a higher court, and the other court's like, oh, we trust our decision. Be quiet, that kind of thing. But it's just another other thing. It would probably, because it's a Canadian company, and Carlisle is basically owned by one of the CEOs is that one British guy. Yeah. So it's very like who says who, money. Anyways, that's about what's going on in the world, United States, and the world that we live in.
And our own town.
In our own little town.
That sounds great, Scott. A lot of good news stories.
Yes, but of course, if you haven't seen the weather, it's been so nice, but now it's going to get terrible, because we're going to get some patchy smoke and isolated showers today.
Oh, great.
With a high of 69 degrees.
Chilly.
And a low of 42. And of course,
supposed to be cold.
And then Thursday, it's going to be a high 55. Oh my God. So you're going to be in the 50s towards the end of the week, and you can expect 50%, 70% chance of showers on Thursday, Friday 50% chance, and of course through the weekend you can see showers are likely.
And only in the 50s. Yeah. So
hopefully it doesn't rain when you're in Coachella.
I'm not going to Coachella. I'm going to the Gorge again for Dave Matthews Band this weekend. Okay. And so it was kind of fun because at the start of my summer, I went to Sasquatch at the Gorge, and now the end of my summer, I'm going to the Gorge again.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, it's coming full circle. I'm very excited.
And I'm very excited to see what the video you made for me on Friday.
Super basic.
Yeah.
Super basic. I'm in front of a green screen, so hopefully I can put some cool photos.
I'm going to put like a transition of just like baby kittens behind you as you're talking. Just something very distracting. Even me, I'm just gonna put myself in the green screen and go.
Yeah, it's super basic. I just did it yesterday morning so that I could have some more content for Scott and Asaph.
But of course, I do have some new programming to show you, and when we come back, we'll have Noelle with events. So here is Tell Us Something, which is happening tomorrow night around 10 p.m. Thursday night. Check it out.
Good.
I don't know. It was 1979. I was a single mom with three girls, 5, 7, and 12. And then I met Jim. It was a whirlwind romance. First date in May and married in August. When Jim suggested a honeymoon up in the high Rocky Mountains of Colorado, I was all for it because I loved camping. I remember fun times with my family.
God, if that doesn't intrigue you guys enough, well, I hope it
I'm
does.
intrigued.
I'm intrigued, yeah. I wanted to, like, listen and keep hearing it. But we've got some events going on now. This is what's going on this morning. Starting at 9 a.m. over at Montec is our 1 million cups. And so this is where they do like an entrepreneur kind of like a discussion. So they do like a short presentation by different businesses in Missoula, and then they give like questions and stuff like that. So Mama Load and Positive Works will be presenting, and it starts at 9 a.m. at Montec.
I just got to say something about it.
Yeah.
I asked these people to come into our show and be
did you?
interviewed for a show.
Yeah.
And they totally like dodged me for sure.
Really?
So I'm calling you out. You better come on our show.
What'd they say?
They said they're changing hands and going through some stuff, and yeah. So I'm gonna say you better come, or
That's so lame.
I'm just gonna talk.
They're changing hands, like
I don't know,
all
some
you
kind
gotta
of
do is
changing hand. Apparently, 1 million cups is like based out of Kentucky or something like that.
Oh.
I don't know.
You could just pop in, tell us what it is, and leave.
Yeah, just come in and say, hey, come on down. It's like a great way to connect Missoula through business, and it is like what Missoula needs.
Exactly.
To make money in Missoula.
And like you could put interviews like on their social media, online.
Yeah, of course.
People see it.
It's
like,
wonderful.
Yeah, it's such a good resource not
And
only
it's
for
like
us,
always
but
new
other
every
people.
week, and
Yeah.
you guys can talk about it every Wednesday if you wanted to come in.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever. Anyways, come on down, 1 million cups.
We're calling
Yes.
you out.
Yeah.
Oh, that was the wrong.
And speaking of 1 million, I just heard that the MCT just stopped their 1 million
Yep.
reasons to say yes campaign.
Yep,
Because
we
they did
did.
reach, what they said they reached $750,000.
Yes.
And their board members at MCC said that they're going to give them $250,000 if they reached $1 million. But then they said, it's like, oh, we'll just give you $250,000 since you already have $750,000. So
Yeah.
there's your million, boom, done.
That was nice of them.
And yeah, they're done.
Yeah.
So congratulations, MCT. It's so
Yay!
great. It's awesome because
is great.
like there's some stories they told and
I'm excited
all
for
stuff
them.
like that. But
MCT is a great resource for the community.
not just for Missoula, but
Yeah.
the whole United States and international stuff. Some
Yeah.
Japan and China. It's
Yeah.
crazy. They had
I know, they do a
people
good
like
job.
last year. There was a huge story about like these cats from China coming down here
Cute cat.
and learning how to do the little red truck
Oh,
in
that's
China
cool.
and doing their own thing there.
That's neat. China has got like a really big art and culture scene.
Oh yeah,
And
they
like
have this
a
huge.
lot of
I
dancing.
suggest you see this documentary about one of the most outspoken Chinese architects. It's
Oh,
really
cool.
good, really innovative, and he went to jail like a bunch of times too. So
Sweet.
he's kind of like a punk rocker in China.
Yeah. You know what? I think I have heard about that. I think I saw it on PBS.
I think we showed it on
We
our.
might have showed it,
like
yeah.
last year when Josh Benny was here. I'm glad he's gone.
No, he'll be back.
No, he won't be back. In October, yes.
Is he coming
Maybe
back?
we can interview him about his movie.
Yeah.
What's that movie called? Zombies of the Living Dead.
Who knows?
All right.
Oh, yeah, back to events,
Yeah,
okay.
well, yeah. What are we talking about?
Back to my own camera. Okay. So over at Spectrum Discovery area, their Discovery Bench is geology, and the Brain Lab is neurotransmitter necklaces. It starts at 11. And then, so over at the Downtown Dance Collective, they are partnering with the university to have a salsa dance class. So you can, if you're a UM student, you can register for that. It's Dance 108.01. And the CRN is 75196. So if you're a student, you can do that. But if you're not a student, you could still take the class.
What?
15 weeks for $90. I think that's a really, really, really good deal.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
And you're gonna meet some sweet college girls. Holla.
Meet a bunch of babes. Yeah.
Not that I would want to do that or anything.
So just call. So just call 541-7240, or else just go to info@ddcmontana.com.
What was that number again?
Scott's rudely texting. And then Middle School Writers is over at the Missoula Public Library starting at 3:30. There's a writing group for ages grades 6 through 9. And it's just for those kids that need inspiration or feedback, something like that. And then we've got our Sharon in the Groove celebrating the music of Fish over at the Top Hat Lounge. This starts at 4:30, and it's a fish-themed happy hour complete with audio show, video, and more. And then we have over at Great Burn Brewing Company, we've got Montana Legal Services Charity Pint Night. So 50 cents from each pint sold will go to Montana Legal Services. And then the North Side has also got their community pint night over at the Kettle House. So 50 cents from each beer sold will also go to the nonprofit organization of the night. And then over at the Missoula Public Library, they've got Socrates Cafe. It's an informal yet intelligent and lively discussion of topics relating to core areas of philosophy. You don't need to have any experience. You just have to have a nagging mind and grumpy thoughts. Yeah, they say it a little more eloquent on MissoulaEvents.net when they say it, but yeah. So 7 to 9 in the boardroom at the library. And then over at the Sunrise, we've got Kathy Clark with country dance lessons. So it's $5 per lesson. It starts at 7. And then karaoke contest over at the Eagles Lodge, starting at 8:30. This takes place every Wednesday night, and you can win money too. And then Gregory Allen Ice Cove and Lori Shook. Yeah, Gregory Allen Ice Cove and Lori Shook of the Shook Twins will be at the Top Hat Lounge starting at 9 p.m.
These Shook Twins?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah, right? That should be a really good show. So it's $20 in advance or $24 day of show. And Craptastic Karaoke's at the Badlander at 9. Milk Crate Wednesdays at the Palace at 9. And that's what's going on for your Wednesday.
You know, I recently learned that the guy who invented the karaoke machine is like the biggest innovator from Japan.
Oh, really?
And he apparently made floppy disk, DVDs, CDs that we use today.
Cool.
Well, that we used to use 5 years ago, and now everything's digital.
I use that stuff still.
He's so yesterday.
I bet he's rolling in the dough.
I don't know. A lot of times people who invent things don't make as much money as the people who patent it. Steve Jobs.
Yeah. Huh. Well, we're going to switch gears now and go over to Asaph segment.
This will be relatively short. We're talking about Shirley Mae Jones, known to the world as Shirley Jones. Shirley Jones is an American singer, actress of stage, film, television, and in her 6 decades of show business, she has starred as a wholesome character in a number of musical films like Oklahoma, which will probably be best known as far as the musicals, Oklahoma, Carousel, The Music Man, with her love interest, Robert Preston, in that. And she won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress as the vengeful prostitute in Elmer Gentry. That was a movie about this guy who was pretending to be a preacher, and he was really an embezzler, scammer. Quite the film. But anyway, the thing that she will be most remembered for, obviously, is the Partridge Family.
Oh,
and
nice.
see, in 1970, when her film roles were starting to dwindle, she was offered the role of Carol Brady on the Brady Bunch, and she turned that role down.
Ooh.
So it went to Florence Henderson.
So they basically kind of like made a spin-off, like, I don't know, like more like a copycat show, because especially in those days they made so many copycat shows.
Yeah, there were a lot of shows that spun up, so she was given a second chance when the Partridge Family came up, and this time she took the role.
I just love those old series, especially all the like the fan fiction, you know, like the stories behind there, kind of like Richie Cunningham's brother, who like went up to his room and never came down for the rest of the series.
yeah.
That's one of my favorite theories of all. Is like his brother.
Who's the brother? Yeah, the brother that was unseen.
They had 2 different actors play the brother for like 2 episodes, and then he like went upstairs and then he never came down. That's like some of the ongoing joke. And then of course the Partridge Family, their dad. You know, like of course the first episode deals with their dad dying.
Oh. Yeah,
and it's just like,
and it was unknown. But according to this history here, during its season of the Partridge Family, it became a hit and was screened in 70 countries when that first came out. And of course, her real-life stepson, David Cassidy, was the teen idol. that show made him such a hot teen idol of the country at the time.
Wow.
And they spawned a number of albums and singles by the Partridge Family, and it put David Cassidy and Shirley Jones back on the map, obviously. And their biggest hit was a song called I Think I Love You, which reached #1 in the Billboard Hot 100 music chart, making Shirley Jones the second person under Frank Sinatra and the first woman to win an acting Oscar with this #1 hit of this song. So I think that's what Shirley Jones will always be remembered for, playing the mother on the Partridge Family. And finally, they won the NARM award for best-selling single that year in 1972. I mean, in 1970 also. So that's kind of a short flyover the career of Shirley Jones and her eventual transition to the Partridge Family.
Cool. Nice.
And is she still kicking?
Yeah, she's like the ever-ready buddy. She is 81 and can still sing after all these years.
And then, how long was the Partridge Family on TV?
It doesn't say, but I think it was on for like 4 or 5 seasons.
Oh,
something
okay,
like
that's not
that.
bad. Yeah. Cool.
That's pretty good for that time.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Thanks. That was Musical Notes with Asaph and I. We are going to go to an art clip from Rick and then back to events.
Featuring art from the Missoula Art Museum. So stay with us. We'll be back with Thursday events right after this.
Wow, that was great. Thanks, Rick. So you can find those pictures and that art gallery at the Missoula Art Museum.
And you can also see art clips and more from current art and past art in Missoula, in the Missoula art scene.
Yeah.
If you basically, if you go to MCAT's YouTube channel, MCAT TV, if you look it up in our YouTube channel, you can find it. It's like the first thing that shows up, and you can look for Missoula art scene.
Nice.
And basically shows all the art stuff. And Rick, MCAT gets a grant for that too.
Cool,
So
yeah.
Rick gets to do that besides doing all the city council meetings.
Nice.
So thank you, Rick.
Yeah, thanks, Rick. And the art that you guys just saw was by Neil Chaput de Saint-Ange. And he did a series along with Keith Graham about one-room schools in Montana. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what that was about. But yeah, that's at the Missoula Art Museum. It looks really cool. So I highly encourage everyone to check it out. But this is what's going on for tomorrow. So we've got Tiny Tales over at the Missoula Public Library starting at 10:30 a.m. tomorrow. This is for babies ages birth through 3 years. They have to be accompanied by an adult lab, of course. And they learn finger plays and nursery rhymes and sing songs and listen to stories. And then Family Fun Time at Mismo Gymnastics starts at 10:30. This is an open gym for ages walking to 12 years. And they just have obstacle courses, trampolines, and foam pits. Anything you could want. And then over at Spectrum Discovery area, the Discovery Bench is Dry Ice, and the Brain Lab is Senses. And we have open time in the Maker Space over at the Missoula Public Library. So you can explore the resources, learn how to use the equipment, or work on a project of your choice from 3 to 6. Read Dogs is at the Missoula Public Library. This is for children that need some help reading, and they can read to a reading education assistance dog. And that starts at 3. Yeah. And then Lego Club is at 3:30. So you can pet some dogs and then go play with Legos. Sounds like a great afternoon.
Yeah.
And so that's in the Dragon Rug in the children's area from 3:30 to 5.
Or you can build a Lego dog and pet the Lego dog.
You could go into Makerspace, build a Lego. You could build a robotic dog, and then bring it to the real
with their
dog.
3D printer.
Yeah.
Like I asked them, is like, like I have some video I shot when I was doing the library video that they're making right now. And I was like putting my camera there. I was like, I can't wait till this thing prints. And then I was like, luckily I asked soon enough. It's like, how long is this gonna take? Oh, it's gonna take 6 hours.
I can't stay here for 6 hours.
Then I left. He's like, I can't stay here. See ya. It's ridiculous.
That's funny.
Yeah.
But it's cool. 3D printers are
3D
super
printers
neat.
are awesome. And I just saw
really
this
neat.
awesome trending video about, I would show you guys, but there's this awesome trending video where they 3D printed a working prosthetic arm for people, for amputees.
Cool.
And it only takes 42 hours to print, and it costs $3,000.
Oh, wow.
Which is substantially cheaper.
Yeah.
It's probably about, well, like most of those prosthetics cost like a BMW, like buying a BMW.
Yeah. Nice.
So
that's really neat. Cool. Well, we don't. One of our cables is broken in order to show video from our computer.
But we should be getting it today.
Yeah, we'll get it today. So Scott will show you guys that video.
Yeah, and I'll be able to show Noelle a pre-taped Noelle.
Pre-taped me from yesterday. Yes. Yeah. And I didn't change outfits between like my Friday stuff and my Monday stuff. So.
Well, your Tuesday. You were wearing the same clothes on Tuesday that you were wearing on Monday and today, so therefore Friday's your clothes are gonna look different anyways.
Yeah,
so,
for Friday.
But Friday and Monday are gonna look the same.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. Yeah.
Did you want to just like
Well, I was gonna do a change, and then I was like, no, that's silly. Whatever.
Or you could have just like wore one of those fuzzy vests that we got from the MCT.
For Monday. Yeah. So we're back to Thursday events. So this is everything going on tomorrow still. So 5 p.m. We've got La Grata Bella. This is our downtown drop-in wine tasting at La Grata Bella, and this is underneath the Old Post Pub. $10 is a wine tasting, minimum of 4 wines, and they have a different theme each week. And then we have one of our last downtown tonights. This is we've got downtown tonight this week, and the last one will be next week. And so it's in Caris Park. They have over 20 different varied food vendors. The live entertainment, the music is by the Red Elvises. Kids activity is by Child Bloom Guitar, and it's sponsored by ASU Transportation, the Badlander, and Montana Wilderness Association. And then we've got all of our music going on Thursday night.
Yep.
It's quite a bit, actually.
Yeah, Out to Lunch is no longer with us, but we have Dinner in the Park, otherwise known as Downtown Tonight. Yep. That's the official name, but everyone says Dinner in the Park.
Yeah.
Downtown Tonight is happening for 2 weeks.
Yep. This
Tomorrow
week and next week.
And done.
Yep.
All done.
Till next summer. Yeah.
They added 2 extra weeks for the college kids.
They did. So I hope that you guys have been able to go out and check it out. It's been a great summer down there.
Yeah, but there's just going to be so many events coming up. There's going to be Oktoberfest. There's going to be German Fest. There's going to be a bunch of beer gardens
couple
and stuff.
Brew fests, It'll be lots of fun stuff happening.
University puts on a lot of events there as well. Just look for it. There's going to be the Hemp Fest.
Hemp Fest will be coming up,
That's usually
That's usually in September.
It's pretty soon.
I feel like it's like this weekend or something.
I have no idea. We should have we'll try to get someone on from the Hemp Fest to come on our show. Cool. That'd be pretty awesome.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
All right.
Okay, so then back to music. Mary Place and Blue Moon will be at the Union Club at 5:30 tomorrow evening. Letter B will be at Draftworks at 6 p.m. Open mic at Eagles Lodge in Missoula at 8:30. Dead Hipster at the Badlander at 9. Rock and Karaoke at the Dark Horse at 9. Junior Brown will be at the Top Hat Lounge 9 p.m. for $25. John Howard's Homegrown Comedy Comedy Hour, local bad comedy. That'll be at the Union Club at 9. Wild Coyote will be at the Sunrise Saloon at 9 p.m. King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard will be at the Real Lounge at 10. Those are great names. It's $5 in advance, $8 day of show. Show is at 10. Yeah. Cool. So that's what's going on for your events. Check out MissoulaEvents.net. Check out the Independent, the newspaper, or the University of Montana's website.
And we're about out of time for this episode of Wake Up Missoula. You can find out more information about Wake Up Missoula by logging on to www.wix.com. Oh no, www.wakeupmissoula.wix.com/wakeupmissoula. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and on YouTube. We'll post this on YouTube before the noon today.
Yep.
So
thanks, everyone.
For Wake Up Missoula, I'm Scott Ramp.
And I'm Noelle McAvoy. Here's Asaph Adonai.